Recording. Hello and welcome to our first Zoom sessions. I'm Jamie Frizzo from Locations Estate Agents here in Gladstone. Today I'm talking to a mate. This is our first trial run, Jai Hobbs from Evolve Loans. Me and Jai have known each other for roughly 20 years on the footy field, mainly at school. And today he's going to give us a bit of insight to his business as a broker. A little bit of history of, he's been in business now for how many years, John?
13.
13 years. So it's a fair while for a 35-year-old. It's pretty good going. So over to you, Jai. Introduce your business and what you do.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Mate, thanks for having me on, first of all. And I run a business called Evolve Loans. So started in finance when I was 19. Evolve's been going since 2016, but I sold out of my last business in 2013. So all in all, finance has been about 15 years. We're a mortgage broker, so we've got a couple of offices, one on the Sunshine Coast, one in Cairns, and mainly do residential finance. A little bit of commercial property, but mainly the residential stuff. So that's us in a nutshell.
Yes, wow, mate. So touching on obviously Evolve, and was it Hobbs Financial back in the day?
It was, yeah. Hobbs Financial.
So 15 years experience, you have done other businesses. Just touch quickly on what your other business was and how you went to that, learnt a lot, and now come back to being a broker.
Yeah, so the wife and I started a business in 2012 called Paleo Cafe. Started that in Cairns. That we got onto that, our son was born dairy intolerant, so there's a fair bit of emotional charge behind it. Ended up franchising that. We got to 17 locations throughout Australia and a master franchise in New Zealand. So, mate, it was a great experience. Learned a lot, had some great lessons, had some hard lessons. But in 2016, I realised that the passion wasn't food, although I like eating it. The passion wasn't creating food. So property and finance is sort of where I really felt comfortable and where I thought I could add some value. And it's amazing. A little bit of time away made me realise so much. One, people in hospitality work their butts off. And two, you've got to really enjoy and really be passionate about what you do. And then that time away just made me realise what it was. So, mate, yeah, came back into the industry in 2016, and it was a blessing. So I started my first business when I was 22. Had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Or too much arrogance, and that's what led me into it. Realise that now, and I look back and laugh. But having the opportunity to sort of build that from a young age, sell it, get some other experience, and then start again in that same industry, you could wipe the slate clean. You could fix all the mistakes that you thought you made, and it's proven to be, mate. It's proven to be an enjoyable ride, and don't regret any of it. But it's great to be back in the industry that I love.
You touched on it just then, property and finance. Now, in this sort of situation we are in, you've dealt with obviously your finances, you've dealt with hospitality, you've also built, renovated, sold how many places now?
14, I think.
14, that's amazing. So, I mean, especially in this sort of situation, you've got three of the, well, from my perspective, hospitality really hurting. The banks and finance and there's so many changes happening every day, week, well, nearly month now. Same with real estate. So you are a source of knowledge, even though sometimes you probably don't think you are. But I mean, I've asked you many questions like, bam, it's this, it's that. So it's pretty amazing what you have done. Right now, you've bought another place and you're selling your place that you've just recently built there on the sunny coast. Give us sort of a view how, I mean, with business itself, you have a lot of trials and tribulations and stress and that. How have you motivated yourself day to day, motivate your team, day to day, week to week, month to month, and how have you evolved, I guess? How have you evolved at Evolve Loans?
Mate, the quote that I like is control the controllables. So worry about what you can control. Don't worry about the rest. It's not being ignorant about the rest. It's just not stressing about it. So from a day-to-day activity, we can't control the market. We can't control what real estate prices are going to do, what the market's going to do. What we can control is the service that we give our clients, the value that we bring. So our big focus is making sure we're bringing that value. If we're bringing that value and we're relevant to our clients, we never have to worry about not having work and not having enough to survive or having enough to thrive, really. So, but we've had some massive challenges, and this we've, especially our age and most people in the crux of their earning or their business life, we've probably seen the GFC and now seen COVID-19, two of the biggest economic events in the last 100 years. But mate, grateful, because if we've seen this now and we know that we can survive and get through it, and come out the end stronger than what we went in, then there's no fear. Yeah, you just
exactly. It's about being positive yet real, and taking the correct steps to keep going through the situation. So quickly, a couple of questions you have been getting from clients and possible clients. Are the banks still lending, and what are, if any, restrictions at the moment?
Yeah, mate, good question. Like, we get this one daily. Long story short, yes, they are still lending. We're still getting approvals. As an example, we got one yesterday for a couple that own through 3 beauty salons. They can't trade at the moment because of the restrictions, but we just got them an approval to buy a new home. So the banks are still lending. They're applying, believe it or not, a bit of a common sense rule around it. So if you're a casual worker working in the hospitality industry and your business is shut down, good chance they're probably not going to lend to you. Yeah. But if you've got a business that is continuing to trade, if you're in an industry, say, you're an electrician, you work in the mines that haven't stopped producing, if you're a builder, you're an essential worker, it's business as normal. So they are lending. They're just making sure that, is your income stable? Are you confident that you're going to keep earning an income either through a business or through a job? And have you got a bit of a contingency plan or a war chest that if something silly was to happen, can you get yourself out of it?
Yeah. So I'll probably the next question with your clients and people. What do your clients need to do to be ready to purchase for a smooth process? So you touched there on essential workers and business as usual, but what makes it a smooth process pretty much?
Smooth process. Income's always step one. So make sure you understand what your borrowing capacity is. Most of the time with interest rates coming down so low, the banks are going to lend you a bucket load more than what you think you want to spend yourself. So majority of the time, that's not an issue. Making sure your accounts are clean. So that's become very topical, especially since the credit reporting's changed. So over limits on your credit card, overdrawns on your bank accounts, late payments on home loans or car loans. They look at this stuff, yeah? In the past, if the bank didn't ask for statements, they wouldn't know. These days, it's all recorded on your credit file. So it's almost you can't hide. So make sure that you've got your accounts up to date.
I've heard you say you touched a bit on the Afterpay. Afterpay sort of hurts you too at the moment too, doesn't it?
Does, mate. Yeah. So Afterpay, ZipPay, those payday lenders, what they do is you buy something, call it $1,000. They'll divide that over usually fortnights, and you pay $250 a fortnight for 4 payments. If you've got that as a liability when we go to do a home loan, we have to expense that $250 a fortnight over the 30-year loan term, even though it's going to be gone in 2 months. So majority of the time, what we tell our clients, pay it out, get rid of it before we apply for the home loan. And that way it doesn't hurt your borrowing capacity and it's not negatively affected. So if you're in a position to do that before you buy a house, just get rid of the Afterpay, get rid of the ZipPay, proceed with your home loan, and then what you do after that's completely up to you.
So I need you to get your crystal ball out. All right, with the crystal ball. Question, what are the interest rates going to do? Because you would know, wouldn't you? And should we fix our rates?
Yeah, good question, buddy. Mate, look, interest rates, you talk to 10 different economists, you're going to get 10 different opinions. The Reserve Bank's made no secret. They've come out and said, we're going to be where we are for the medium term, which they predict around about 3 years. So they've given us a pretty good leader to say we're steady for the next few years. Fixed rates at the moment for a home loan, a good fixed rate's around 2.2%. whereas a good variable rate's sort of in the high twos, 2.8-ish, somewhere around that. So if you're confident that you're going to stay in your home for the next couple of years, and you don't want the flexibility about paying a huge amount off and being able to redraw, then fixed is a good idea. But just understand what you're doing and what you're getting yourself into before you fix that. So talk to a good broker, talk to someone who you trust, so you understand what you're getting yourself into before you make that decision.
I do apologise about that. I was just going flat on my laptop there. That's why I had to quickly manoeuvre and plug in the power. So that's why we do a trial. That's our first session, a learning curve. So yeah, Jai, mate, great advice. I mean, like I said, at 35 years old, you are a wealth of knowledge in, well, hospitality game, the finance game, and real estate, really. I think one of the questions I need to ask is, what do you love about your job? Is it the freedom, the clients, being satisfied in business and achieving milestones? What drives you?
Mate, I suppose what drives me is the fear of not being the best that I can be. That's the underlying drive that drives me. I'm I suppose petrified of not living my true potential. And I've
explained you to people the best way I can. You're like an Energizer bunny. You are a kind of guy who, no matter what is happening, negative or positive, you are always saying, "How you going, Jai? Fantastic, mate." And even if we are in a bit of a jam, I'll get myself out of it. I'll work harder, which I think that's what you just said there. It's sort of, that's how I explain you to people. Energizer bunny. Get up and go.
Perfect. It's got us into some hot water sometimes, but it's good fun. So look, in business, and what I love about this job is you're helping people to the next stage in life. So whatever that might be, it's a good position to be in. You know, everyone's happy 99% of the time. They're getting the house they want. They're getting the investment property they want. They're getting the new business premises. Like it's a really good time in people's life. So being able to make that happen and get their dream become a reality, mate, it's awesome. So and I love finance and I love property. So it sort of just molds all those together. And now I realise it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And apparently you like horses now too. You're on the wife.
Apparently.
And mountain bikes. When she goes ride on the horse, you come ride mountain bikes with me. It'd be fantastic.
100%.
Jai, mate, thank you very much for our first Zoom session trial here. I believe you've given us a fair bit of great information. Anyone out there who's watching, question, queries, I'll be putting a link down the bottom to Evolve Loans website and Jai's details, and also myself, Jamie, with the real estate page. So any questions or queries? Thank you for watching. Jai, thank you for today for being my guinea pig. I think this is something we'll probably be doing every fortnight or even monthly. We'll see how we go. I hope that has been informative and what's the word I'm looking for? You enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, mate. Bye.